So, when you are wanting to graph these, the first column here, even though it has n in it, the first column is like your x, and the second column is like your y. To find the second column, it says take 2 times the number in the first column and subtract 3. So I'm going to take 2 times 0, since n is 0, and subtract 3. 2 times 0 is 0, minus 3 is negative 3. And then when n is 1, I'm going to take 2 times 1 and subtract 3. 2 times 1 is 2, and then minus 3 is negative 1. And then when n is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, and then subtract 3 is positive 1. So I need to put my axes in place so that I can, let me make sure I'm on lines here, arrows at both ends, so that I can graph these points. Well, my x-axis only needs to go to the right to positive 2, so I just need to make sure I can get over here to positive 2. My y-axis, I need to get down to negative 3 and up to positive 1. So I can pretty much center that x-axis, making sure I can get down to negative 3 down here and up to positive 1 up here. Now, I need to get up to positive 1 on my y-axis and down to negative 3. And that's a little bit thinner than I want. My x-axis, I just need to get over to positive 2. Now again, where these intersect is the point 0, 0. So I move a square to 1, move another square to 2. So 0, negative 3 is down here. Positive 1 for x, negative 1 for y. And then positive 2 for x, positive 1 for y. If these 3 points do not line up exactly, I did something wrong. But notice as I move from the left to the right, I go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, so they do line up. Now, I put my ruler down on the page and draw my line with arrows at the ends through those points. Now, once you have your ruler exact, you won't have to be doing all of the shuffling that I'm doing, but there's your line. So, the next one says to take the number in the first column, multiply it by negative 3, and then subtract 2. So negative 3 times 0, subtract 2, is negative 2. Negative 3 times 1, and then subtract 2, is negative 5. And negative 3 times 2, and subtract 2, is negative 8. Again, I'm just taking each of these numbers one at a time and substituting them for r, and then calculating to see what I get. So when I get ready to put my axes in this time, again, I only need to get to the right to positive 2, so I need to get over here to positive 2, but I have to get down here to negative 8. So I'm going to put this axis up pretty far, because I need to get down to negative 8, and I don't have any positive values here. So, down to negative 8. Over to positive 2 on my x-axis. 0 means I don't move left or right at all. Negative 2 means I go down 2. 1 means I go to the positive 1 side and then down to negative 5. And then over to positive 2 and down to negative 8. Once I get those in, as long as they are in a line, and these are, if they aren't, then I have to figure out what's wrong. These are nicely lined up. Then I put my ruler on my paper. I draw my line through, making sure I put my arrows at the ends of my line and the arrows at the ends of my axes, because they are also lines, and I'm done. Now this equation says take 4 times the number in this column and add 1. So 4 times 0 and add 1 is 1. 4 times 1 and add 1 is 5. And 4 times 2 and add 1 is 9. So in this case, again, I only need to get to the right over here to positive 2. So I'm going to leave myself enough room to do that. Let me get this on the red line where it should be. I have to get all the way up to positive 9 up here, though. So I can put my line way down here at the very bottom, or I could move it up 1 square, but that's as much wiggle room as I have for this, because I need to go by 1s if I can, and I have to get to positive 9. So I'm going to go up to positive 9. And down here over to positive 2. Again, marking right below the grid line since I can't mark on the grid line. 0, 1, 1, 5, and 2, 9 for my 3 points. They are gorgeously lined up. So then I'm going to draw my line through them. Again, use your ruler as you do this. Make sure that they are perfectly lined up. Arrows at the ends of your axes and arrows at the end of your line. And that's your graph.